Hey everyone, my name is Sean and welcome to Geeksvana. Regular viewers will be aware that we have been working closely with backers of the crowdfunded campaign Microdrone 4.0 to attempt to hold the campaign owner to account and find out what is really happening behind the scenes of the seriously delayed delivery of the promised drone. We have an important update on refunds coming up in a few moments, so stay tuned for that. In today's video, the backers' voices, we're sharing with you some of the voices behind the noise created by everyone around the campaign. In doing so, I'm attempting to bring the focus back to where it should be. Those backers who feel they have been misled, missold and ignored by campaign owner Vernon Kerswell. By playing out these videos, we hope to keep the pressure on those within and connected to Extreme Toys Limited and IndiGoGo, the crowdfunding platform, to bring about some transparency. Before we play the videos out, I wanted to provide a quick update on some of the very selective backers who have recently gained refunds from the Microdrone 4.0 campaign. Through court files and communications shared with Geeksvana, it appears that several backers who were taking the company to court through the UK system have now received confirmation that their perks are being refunded. The way this has been done, in my opinion, is another example of the way Extreme Toys and the founder Vernon Kerswell attempts to manipulate the perception of his actions to support his own views. Those backers who had outstanding action live in the UK court system have now received confirmation that a refund for their perks has been actioned. The way this has happened, or so Extreme Toys Limited report, is via a resale of the perks to new purchasers keen to become backers or existing backers wanting more of the product. My issue here is that why hasn't this service been offered to the wider community of backers who are seeking a refund? To date, Geeksvana has been contacted by backers providing many hundreds of contribution numbers. Each day that passes, more backers of the campaign contact us complaining of feeling misled and being ignored by the campaign owner. Out of the blue, however, despite so many backers wanting to exit the campaign, it appears that those receiving refunds through the resale of perks are also those at advanced stages of legal action against Extreme Flyers Limited. If there are so many willing buyers available to buy perks, we hope that Vernon Kerswell will update the rest of the backers soon with how the resale of their perks is going. If this does not happen and other backers who have requested refunds are not refunded through this system, it could leave some to speculate that the resale of perks route used by Extreme Flyers is to ensure other backers do not see them as straight refunds and demand their own. Looking at the reaction from many backers who have now launched UK and EU court action against the campaign, this speculation appears to have been popular. I suppose the good news we should focus on here is some backers getting their money back. Well done to active people such as Binky Smith for forcing this through, although court action is a lot of stress to go through to achieve it. Okay, back to the voices of the backers. Here are some videos sent to us by backers to voice their concerns over the campaign and explain how they feel. These voices reflect the many stories I have heard directly from hundreds of backers who have contacted Geeksvana. Stay tuned to the end of the video for an update on our efforts to gain some more oversight of the campaign by IndiGoGo.
Hi Sean, hi everyone. My name's Uli Lachmuth. I'm from Switzerland and I'm one of the unhappy backers of Microdrone 4. What shall I say? I'm utterly disappointed by that project and especially by the campaign owner, that guy, self-proclaimed drone expert Vernon. I think it's utterly disgraceful what he did to all our backers. What have I got for that? Nothing. First contribution was in February 2019. At that time, we all believed that the drone would really be delivered in June 19. Now June 19 is just 1 year back now.
Long story short, I was supposed to receive this drone as a present for my wife. She didn't know anything about IndiGoGo, about crowdfunding. She just heard me talking about this drone. She went there, she seen guaranteed June delivery. She bought it and she wasn't happy because on my birthday it didn't arrive. My birthday was in July. She bought it in, I think, at the end of the May. but it didn't arrive. And still, after a year, it didn't arrive.
Hey everybody, my name is Everett Rankin, contribution number 14849. So at the end of June 2019, there was a lot of confusion on the comments page about whether or not the drone would be delivered by the end of June 2019 as guaranteed in the advertisement. So I actually sent a personal email to Vernon telling him, all this confusion, have no idea. If I order a drone today, when can I expect to get it? So that was the first personal lie that I was told for this campaign.
So I first found out about this project at the photography show in the NEC in March 2019. When I was there, I saw Vernon and his booth, and all looked very busy. He had a micro drone 3.0 that he seemed to be showing off to people, and there was a video showing everything that 4.0 could do. Lots of people were asking questions about what this could and couldn't do, and basically Vernon was saying it could do video, it could do photos, it was tried and tested. Look at the video here, this is made, it's ready to go into production. All we need is the money for production. It will be in your hands by June. So I had 2 holidays coming up, and I really wanted to capture some HD video as well as some 12 megapixel photos. Obviously on this big screen behind him, he had all the specs up and it said 12 megapixel photos. Fantastic. So I went home a few days later, went back on the IndiGoGo page, again, watched through the same video, really liked what I saw, couldn't believe it was going to be in my hands in a couple of months' time, and submitted my money.
Shortly after, I think it was in March, all of a sudden the refund window was closed by Mr. Kerswell. At that time, he claimed he had a fully tested production-ready drone, and briefly after the production window was the refund window was closed, the downgrade started. Originally was advertised the 12 megapixel camera in that drone. Now it's only 5. Then originally the drone was palm-sized at 125 grams. Now it's close to 180. Flight time has dropped from 13 minutes to God knows what. And although he claimed the production was just about to begin or had already begun, and mass production was promised and confirmed and whatnot, even so today we've got nothing, and that's absolutely disgraceful.
For us, it's not a small amount of money here in Czech Republic, so it's very unfortunate. Now, over the several months, what happened that we also find out that maybe it will ship from China, so another about $40 here in Czech Republic to the package. That means that when it comes, the price of it will be the same in total for me to buy a DJI Mavic Mini, new here from the store tomorrow.
We were told if we gave $20 USA that it would be shipped to us anywhere in the world. And then a few months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, there was a little bit of rumblings about it's coming from China, not the UK like they said, so we're going to have to pay the VAT, the customs, the duties and all that. Again, lots of confusion, so I sent an email to them that they did not respond to, but then on the comments page, someone actually responded to me. My question being, I gave you guys $20, you promised to ship it to me anywhere in the world, is that all I have to pay for shipping, or will there be more? The response was, that's it, you won't be charged anything else. But then there was more rumblings and more someone saying that's not true, this is the... So we got into another conversation. When you make a comment on the comments page, you make the comment. Then you can make a reply and a reply and a reply and a reply. So this was a 14-stage conversation where I explained it to him as if I was explaining it to a child. Do I have to pay any more to have this thing shipped to me? Where they told me out and out, no, you paid your $20, that's it, you're getting it. And of course, as we found out, this is not true either. That was the second personal lie that was told to me.
Now obviously since then I've learnt that that was actually more of a wish list that Vernon had created rather than an actual specs. Obviously having that video behind him saying 12 megapixel camera wasn't a guarantee that it would have a 12 megapixel camera. So that definitely felt like false advertising to me. And I could maybe get around that if it wasn't for the fact that 10 months later, in January 2020, this year, he was still using that same video at CES behind him. Now, he's tried to shift the blame on someone else, but obviously, as the CEO, it's his responsibility to make sure that that video is updated. If you know you're going to CES, one of the biggest technology trade shows in the world, why not have your video up to date?
Most updates, when you look at the IndiGoGo website, the updates we've got, they are essentially non-updates. It's a lot of word salad, giving absolutely no explanation. We have no idea where we stand, if the project indeed exists, or is it just vaporware?
Lower quality video sensor, gimbal not working as it was supposed to, flight time reduced, long range control not so long range, battery time reduced, size of the drone increased. It's completely something else. It's completely somewhere else from the original idea, and it's very misleading, and I feel cheated. I feel scammed, even if Mr. Kerswell says no.
That's not counting any of the group lies that were told and all the group promises that were broken. So that's my complaint about this campaign. Above and beyond everybody else's group things, two personal lies to me. Good luck, everybody.
My other problem with Vernon and this campaign is obviously locking refunds when they did. This is a campaign built around certain specifications and a deadline. Now, when you're going to change those two main aspects of the campaign, you should obviously keep the refund window open because it's no longer the same project that people backed. But to Vernon, that doesn't matter. He didn't even bother to consult any of the backers about the changes he was making. He included them in updates after he'd made them, but he didn't ask us, do we want to make these changes? Basically, I didn't give my money to Vernon to go and spend a year on extra wages for himself, tooling and designing this whole different drone. I gave him the money to make what he had then for me in June. And so did all the other backers. And even if it did have structural issues, then that's his problem, it's not ours. He said in his own words, this has been thoroughly tested.
From time to time, he's holding something up in the camera that looks like a drone, claiming that's the perfect micro drone for. Meanwhile, I got a Mavic Mini, and I'm absolutely satisfied with it. The key difference, it might be somewhat more expensive than what was promised from MD4, but I got it, and it actually flies, and it flies for half an hour, and it gives buttery smooth video. So I don't know, does this micro drone 4 even exist? Will it ever see the light of day? I don't believe it will.
Maybe he could do it with another several months, maybe with another year. He could do it, but it wouldn't be, it wouldn't have all the benefits for which we sent him the money.
And then we finally got the video of it flying outside, thanks to Geeksvana. No thanks to Vernon. Vernon wanted to block that clip. And again, it's just sort of flailing around. The gimbal obviously isn't doing its job, and Vernon wants to go and fix that with superglue now. He's also been caught recently telling people that there's only 10 angry backers out there. Everyone else really loves this drone, everyone's sending him messages of support. Yet he also believes that if he gives those 10 people refunds, everyone will want a refund. So all these people who are loving and praising his product will suddenly leave because 10 angry people have left. Now, I'm having a really hard time believing that there's a majority out there who want this.
And I'm utterly disappointed, and I feel ripped off. And I really think IndiGoGo should step in.
Here on this campaign, he did that. He listened what people want. He made a great story about that. He sold that story. People gave him that money, but he didn't deliver. He completely changed that.
We only gave him the money to produce what he had. We didn't give him the money to pay his staff for a year to design a new product. We didn't give him money to go and design new tooling and things like that. In his own words, production hasn't started yet. And that's what we funded. So therefore, where's all the money gone, Vernon? And you should be able to give us a breakdown of the books. It says in the IndiGoGo terms that you should be able to answer any backer questions and submit this kind of information to us. Why aren't you doing that? It just seems really, really dodgy to me on top of all this other stuff I've just listed. Because going back and reading all the Microdrone 3 comments, it shows that he has already done this once. All those comments are identical to the kind of things that people are complaining about on the Microdrone 4 page. And if we let him complete this project and don't put these kind of reviews up, then he's just going to do it again. And before he starts crying and moaning, saying, no, this will still be a great product, you haven't tried it yet, we already know it's going to be a pointless product. It's a standard HD drone with footage that just about passes as that. So yeah, that's my view on the subject. It just feels like a scam and lies by a horrible, vile person. And there's no other way I can look at it because he's doing nothing to show me otherwise.
There you have it. Stories from legitimate backers who all feel misled by the campaign. I'd like to thank those involved in today's video and all the backers who have reached out to Geeksvana so far. We appreciate you taking the time to share your stories. As some of you will no doubt be aware, Geeksvana is currently working on a plan to gain more widespread exposure of the issues within the Microdrone 4.0 campaign, as well as get some direct involvement from the crowdfunding platform IndiGoGo. We're looking to do this by sending an open letter to all senior members of staff at IGG, signed by as many backers as possible. To date, the letter will be signed by hundreds of contribution numbers, that way keeping the backers' privacy safe. If you'd like more information, visit the community tab of our YouTube channel or email me, sean@geeksvana.com. Please feel free to reach out to us for any reason, although due to the high numbers of backers contacting us at the moment, it might take a couple of days for me to come back to you. See you in the next video.
Please remember to like and subscribe.